Welcome to Everything Commanders with your host, Dream Team Buddha. Hail to the Commander. What's going on, Commanders family? Welcome to another episode of Everything Commanders. I am your host, Dream Team Buddha. So listen, yesterday we pretty much started a series in which I will give you all a mock draft for the first round for the Commanders at pick number 29 each day leading up to the NFL draft. Yesterday, we talked about running back out of Ohio State, TreVeyon Henderson, however you pronounce his name. And today, we on day 2, and we're going to move on to my next mock draft, round 1, part 2. Before we get into that, if you will, do me a favor, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't already, and make sure you turn the bell notification on so that way I can keep you in the know with everything Commanders. All right, so let's pretty much get into it. Now, again, I'm very excited because less than 48 hours away from the NFL draft, and things are starting to ramp up. You know, it's been pretty quiet around here for the Commanders because we just not used to picking that pick number 29, man. We used to being the talk of the town when the draft comes about, and because we've been trashed for so long, and it's just bittersweet to be good. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, I would rather more be good than to be bottom of the barrel like the Washington Commanders has been in the past. However, this is out with the old, in with the new. In the new, we are very successful. We have a quarterback, we have a great coaching staff, and we have a great organization overall in which we are headed in the right direction, and we've already tasted success. And in doing so, it's only up from here. So our main focus right now is kind of building this roster around Jayden Daniels to the point where as though we can maximize Jayden Daniels' rookie contract so that way we can, get closer and closer to a Super Bowl, which is the ultimate goal, and possibly win 1 or 2 Super Bowls before his rookie contract is up, and then he got to get signed to this mega contract. And then that don't mean that, once he get his mega contract that it's all over for us, the window closes. Nah, that's not true. It just means that you can get away with a lot more with giving bigger contracts to your players out around Jayden Daniels as he grows, and as they are grooming him on his way to becoming the best quarterback in the NFL ever. I know I might have sliced it a little bit, but it's cool. But he elite. So anyway, today, now all of these picks, right? Like I said yesterday, I really don't have a solid pick at number 29 that I would say, if I had a choice right now, I'm picking this person at pick number 20, because I don't know who's going to be there when the time comes for the Washington Commanders to make their pick. Now, we're going to be live on the channel, and we'll be, throughout the entirety of the draft. So we'll be able to, pretty much look at who's on the board and make some predictions. And I'm pretty sure my tone will change as the draft progresses. But until we get there, these are just a few players that I can see the Washington Commanders taking at pick number 29. Not all of them make sense to me. I can't say don't make sense to me, but what I would say is not all of them will be my choice of a pick at pick number 29, although I would like to see him on this roster. But we shall see. Like yesterday, pick number 29 for the running back, TreVeyon Henderson. I wouldn't pick him at 29 unless it was a run on running backs. Because, running back is a position. I know we need that change of pace, but it's so many fast running backs in this draft. Now, speed doesn't always mount to being one of the better players in the NFL, because when you get in the NFL, you got to really have it. And it's some people that's not the fastest that's one of them ones in the NFL. So just because you got the speed or whatever the case may be, don't mean it will translate into greatness in the NFL. You still got to have other skills to actually balance out your skill set. But anyway, before I start rambling, let's get on to at pick number 29. Tickets in. Doo-doo-doo. At pick number 29, the Washington Commanders select defensive end / linebacker Donovan ezeiruaku. I hope I said that right. Out of Boston College, man. Now listen. Now, only reason why I say I can see them picking him at pick number 29 is because I think your Jalen Carters, your Mike Greens, your even though Mike Greens had kind of like been on the radar for the Commanders, whatever. Your Mike Greens, your James, well, not James Pierce Jr. because I think he's gonna slip to the second round, but your Shamar Stores and so forth. I think they're gonna be gone. And Shamar Stewart is it's pretty much like you going on like a blind date with him. You know what I'm saying? It's the unknown. So they'll be gone, right? And I think that this guy will be there at 29 for sure. Hell, he might even slide to the second round. Depends. The Commanders could possibly trade back at 29 and still get him. But he's a pure pass rusher. We've been asking, when will they get this pass rusher that we so desperately need to actually attack on the edge and that could be versatile? And we don't want a one-trick pony. You know what I'm saying? When Chase Young came here, Chase Young had a handful of moves, if that. And after his first year, he really didn't progress. It's like, everybody adjusted to what he brought to the table, and he didn't make any adjustments. So from my understanding, from what I'm saying, he didn't really make no adjustments. He kept using his power and his speed, but I didn't really see like the technique wise Chase Young. Like, and don't get it twisted, I'm not saying Chase Young is a bad football player. I'm just saying I just feel like from what I saw on tape, and it could have been because of the injury, I just feel like he could have gave more. And he's doing a little better over there with the Saints. You can see him starting to implement more moves, but it comes with a player, a prospect. As time goes on, they get better and better each season. So for whatever reason, we tore up the whole roster and he had to get traded up out of here. But anyway, Donovan ezeiruaku, but let's just call him Donovan E for now. He had, I believe, 16 and a half sacks last year. I think he had 16 and a half sacks last year. Let me see. I'm checking for you right now. Yeah, he had 16 and a half sacks last year, y'all. I think that's second. I think Mike Green had the most sacks last year in FBS. But he had 16 and a half. He did 4 years in college, so he got the time needed, the experience needed in college to actually grow. You don't want nobody just coming out, after having success after 1 year or say 2 years, or whatever the case may be, because he started off with 2 sacks, 2021, 2022, he had 7.5 sacks, and 2023 was a down year. I don't know what transpired or what happened that year, but he only had 2 sacks. But then 2024, he had a monster year. He pretty much doubled, everything he had before, and he got 16 and a half sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Yeah, you can't beat that. And he at the draft, at the combine, he didn't even really run at the combine, but he did do all of the other obstacles, whatever the case may be. So he didn't do the 40. He did do the vertical jump, the broad jump, the 3-cone drill, the 20-yard shuttle, and the bench press. He got a production score of 87, but he only 6'2 and a half. Now, he seems like the next coming of Dante Fowler, I would say. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I can't really say that. It just seemed like that because, body size, body type, I'm not too sure how good he could be against stopping a run, but he can do something there. But what you did in college ain't the same in the NFL. But we just have to wait and see. But if they go on pass rusher at pick number 29, because the way the NFL draft is set up this year, I don't think there's going to be a lot of trades and a lot of people trying to jump up, especially with the quarterback room. That determines it all. Let's see what happens. We already know Cam Ward going first overall to the Tennessee Titans. And we got to see what Shador going. We got to see what Jackson Dart going. We got to see what Jalen Miro going. Tyler Shook. We got to see where all these guys are going, because you'll have teams trying to trade up to get the quarterbacks. And if they come to our way, then we can actually move back and make more picks. But to get back on Donovan before we get up out of here, he's a pure pass rusher. He got that twitch. He got the speed off the edge. He got a great bend. He's low. He's just a hunter, man. He's a hunter. He's a dog. Like at defensive end, it's just that his size for me is not my ideal size for like I would like to see at defensive end. But at the same time, bruh, young man could ball. And I don't know if y'all seen his tape, so y'all might want to go check out his tape. But if they pick him at pick 29, I wouldn't be mad at all. But I can see them picking him at pick 29, or if we would happen to trade back. But for this situation, we saying at pick number 29, the Washington Commanders will take Donovan E. out of Boston College. All right, so that was part 2. We got one more day. We're going to do part 3 tomorrow, and we'll move there. We'll move on from there. Then I'll catch you all live from the draft, whatever the case may be, and we'll go from there. But before we get up out of here, if you're new to the channel, like I said, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn the bell notification on so that I can keep you in the know with everything Commanders, y'all. And let's get excited, man. Let's be excited. Let's enjoy this NFL draft that's coming up in a couple of days. It's long overdue, and I know we all are anxious and waiting to see how this draft gonna turn out. It might go totally different than what we think. But only thing I can say at the end of the day is, in AP we trust. All right, so that's gonna do it for me, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Before I go, let's head up. Who are we? The Commanders. Let's get it.